While that result is a wee way off in Wisconsin, there are a few results that are trickling in, and Max Towle from our foreign desk is here to bring us up to speed with where things are at. So what are the ones that you're watching closely right now, Max?
Well, over the past few hours, we've been looking at Florida. Florida, the historic swing state. It's decided the winner of the election has won Florida since 1996. And honestly, a surprising margin of victory it's looking like being for Donald Trump. The latest polls up to Election Day had Joe Biden ahead by about 4-5% in some polls. And it's looking like Donald Trump is going to win Florida relatively handily. So whether or not that says something about how the polls may have it wrong in other states, we'll soon see. We've also been looking at Ohio, another state like Florida that Donald Trump needs to win. If Joe Biden had been able to edge Florida or Ohio, Donald Trump's path to the White House becomes significantly narrower. In Ohio, Joe Biden did have a lead about half an hour ago. That's now been completely erased and gone back to Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is looking good in Ohio. Texas, too. Joe Biden, early votes coming in. Had a nice lead in Texas, but Donald Trump, that's obviously been a very safe Republican seat in history. Donald Trump looking very good in Texas now. What's concerning for Joe Biden, again, is just how wrong the polling numbers had it in Florida. Joe Biden, it looks like, shed a lot of support among Latino voters compared to Hillary Clinton. We're seeing him hold on to a slight lead in North Carolina, which would be a good win for Joe Biden if he were to pull it off. But there are still plenty of votes to count in North Carolina, and that will probably narrow or swing back to Donald Trump further.
So I'm just glancing over my shoulder at Florida here on the computer screen, and I can see that 94% of the voters in Donald Trump sitting on 51.2% and Joe Biden on 47.8%. How hard is the path to the White House for Joe Biden without Florida?
Well, I think his campaign team will be a lot more nervous now than they were a few hours ago, and certainly at the beginning of the day. It's not necessarily harder. Again, Florida was a state that Donald Trump had to win. Joe Biden didn't have to win Florida. But there are indications in other states that what Joe Biden thought might be a closer race, including Florida, may not be the case. We're looking at, for instance, Michigan so far, early days, but Donald Trump has a slight lead in Michigan. Georgia, for example, I think the Biden campaign were fairly confident that could be flipped blue. Donald Trump has a lead in Georgia. It's still very early days in terms of those other states outside of Florida and Ohio, but look, there are international bookmakers that have Donald Trump as the favourite right now.
Florida is interesting because maybe a lot of New Zealanders will look at that and think it's a relatively liberal state and diverse. What more can you tell us about the demographics, really, of Florida? And how different parts of it are behind the current president and others for Joe Biden?
Well, in 2016, Florida, a vast majority of the votes come in what's known as Miami-Dade County, which obviously includes the city of Miami, the southern part of the state. Hillary Clinton won that county with a result of 64% in 2016. Looks like Joe Biden's only going to win it by about 55%. It looks like Donald Trump has increased his support among Latino voters and black voters in that region. Florida has been a state where the result has been very, very close. Look at 2000, where George Bush won Florida by 537 votes, and that 0.01% got him into the White House. He ended up with 271 electoral votes to Al Gore's 266.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll be having you back and forth in the studio through the evening to get us up to date with what's going on there.